What's up, YouTube? I just got a new cast iron skillet and I was talking to a friend of mine and I mentioned that tonight I was going to prep it, and she said, well, what do you mean prep it? She had no idea what I was talking about. So I thought if she had a question about it, maybe other people had a question about it too. So I figured I'd make a YouTube video and show everybody what I do to prep my cast iron skillet. Alright, so here's my new skillet, completely unused. It's beautiful. It's a great thing. Okay. So just so you know, first thing I did was I preheated my oven to 350 degrees. Okay. So that's preheating right now. I have a towel in the bottom of my sink because I don't want my brand new cast iron skillet to get all scuffed up. And I'm going to wash it with a Brillo pad. Hot, soapy water. And I'm going to hit the inside of it, and then I'm going to hit the outside of it, scrub it really, really well, the bottom of it, got some weight to it. And this is the only time you'll ever wash your cast iron skillet, is when you first get it and you start prepping it. Finger got stuck in there. Make sure I hit the rim. And then we're going to rinse it well. I'm going to set it here so it doesn't ruin my countertops. And then we're going to dry it. It has to be completely dry. Also, if you're doing this, you want to make sure you don't have a towel that's going to leave a whole bunch of flakes all over it. I know I picked out a good towel, but you want to be conscious of that. You don't want, otherwise it'll pull. That's not nice. Alright, looks like we're pretty good. Alright. And then alright, so I got Nutivia shortening. Most people will use Crisco. I always aim to cook as healthy as possible. This one happens to be USDA organic, non-GMO verified, fair for life, organic superfood, the whole 9 yards. So for me, this is what I'm using. You could use any basic Crisco. It'll cost you probably 50% less than what I spent. Okay. Alright. And now I'm going to coat the entire pan. Inside, outside, the handle, everything is going to get coated in the shortening, and you should definitely use a hard shortening. You don't want to use like olive oil or some kind of, canola oil or some kind of liquid. You want to use something nice and thick. Alright, I'm going to hit the outside now. I don't know if I heard my oven click yet. I'm not sure if it's on preheating, but it's not really a huge deal. We are almost done prepping. Trying not to scratch my granite countertops. Getting all the grooves. This can be a very messy process, in case you haven't noticed. Also, I'm using a paper towel to oil this up, mostly because I don't want to put my hands, I don't have a problem getting my hands dirty, but I don't want to stick my hands in the shortening and then have to, I would throw this out if I did that, so I'm just trying to save the save the shortening, I guess. All right, I think I'm pretty much coated. I'm gonna once over, make sure. Looks good. Oops, I don't think I missed anything. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is put this into my oven, which is already preheated. It's slippery. So it's gonna go face down, which I know doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's gonna go face down into a baking dish. I'm gonna grab something just to kind of help me out here, because that shortening is going to drip off, and I don't want it to drip into my oven. I prefer that it drip into a pan. All right, so we are good. And I'm going to leave this in here for an hour. Well, I'm going to set the timer for an hour. And then once that hour is up, I'm going to turn the oven down and just let the cast iron skillet cool to room temperature, which at this point, it's the end of the night. I'm not using the oven tonight. I could just leave it in there until tomorrow morning and it'll be fine. So that is how you prep your cast iron skillet. You end up covered in shortening, but it's well worth it. And like I said earlier, this is the only time you should ever wash your skillet. If you end up washing it a lot, it ends up getting rusted and it's just not good. Don't do it. And then there's no point in prepping it. So only time you ever wash it is now, and this is how it gets prepped, and it'll take about an hour and then we're good to go. Any questions? You could throw a comment below. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and hit the little bell, and you'll find out first when a new video pops up. Thanks.